So in this lesson, we are going to learn about the switch port membership modes. So switch ports are layer 2 only interfaces associated with a physical port, and switch ports are used for managing the physical interface and associated layer 2 protocols. So they do not handle routing or switch ports belong to one or more VLANs. So, ang switch port ay ang only interface na nag-associate with a physical port sa layer 2. Ang switch port din ay ginagamit sa pag-manage ng mga physical interface and nag-associate sa layer 2 protocols. So, ang switch port ay hindi nag-handle ng routing or bridging dahil ang switch ports daw ay belong sa isa o sa higit pang mga VLANs. So we have three VLAN port membership nodes: the static VLAN, dynamic VLAN, and voice VLAN. So let's talk about first what is VLAN switch port modes. So when you configure a VLAN, you must assign it a number ID and you can optionally give it a name. So the purpose of VLAN implementations is to judiciously associate ports with particular VLANs. So you can configure the port to forward a frame to a specific VLAN. So as mentioned previously, you can configure a VLAN in voice mode to support voice and data traffic coming from a Cisco IP phone. You can configure a port to belong to a VLAN by assigning a membership mode that specifies the kind of traffic the port carries and the VLANs to which types it can be below. So sa pag-configure daw ng VLAN, kailangan mong mag-assign ng number 8. So, and may option ka na lagyan ito ng name. And ang purpose ng VLAN implementation ay maayos na ma-associate ang mga ports sa mga VLAN. Bukod pa dito ay kinoconfigure rin natin ang mga ports para makapag-forward ito ng frame sa isang specific na VLAN. Kagaya na lamang ng figure sa naunang slide na may voice VLAN, no, na nagsusupport ng voice and data traffic na nanggagaling sa Cisco IP phone. So, pwede kang mag-configure ng port para maging VLAN siya sa pamamagitan ng pag-assign ng membership mode na nagsispecify ng traffic na meron ang isang port and sa VLAN kung saan man siya belong. So, here you can configure a port in three types. So the first type is static VLAN. So static VLAN is a ports on a switch are manually assigned to a VLAN. Static VLANs are configured using the Cisco command line interface, and this can also be accomplished with GUI management applications such as the Cisco Network Assistant. So, however, a convenient feature of the CLI is that if you assign an interface to a VLAN that does not exist, the new VLAN is created for you. So, to see a sample static VLAN configuration, click the static mode example button in this CLI. And when you are done, click the port modes button click the port modes button, and this configuration will not be examined in detail now. So you will see this configuration later in this chapter. So, ang static VLAN is kapag manually na ina-assign ng VLAN, and ang static VLAN is kino-configure gamit ang Cisco command line interface or kung hindi man is sa GUI management applications kagaya ng Cisco Network Assistant. So, ang kinagandahan sa paggamit ng CLI is kapag ang nasabing VLAN ay hindi nag-exist, may new VLAN na gagawin yung CLI para sa'yo. So, para makita ang sample ng static VLAN configuration, i-click ang static mode example button. Kapag tapos ay i-click naman ang port codes button. Next type of configuration is the dynamic VLAN. So this mode is not widely used in production networks and is not explored in this course. However, it is useful to know what a dynamic VLAN is. A dynamic port VLAN membership is configured using a special server called a VLAN membership policy server or VMPS. With the VMPS, you assign switch ports to VLANs dynamically based on the source MAC address of the device connected to the port. The benefit the benefit comes when you move a host from a port on one switch in the network to a port on another switch in the network. The switch dynamically assigns the new port to the proper VLAN for the host. So, the dynamic VLAN, so itong mode naman na to ay hindi karaniwang na ginagamit sa production network and hindi rin siya ma-explore sa course na to. However, mahalaga pa rin na malaman natin kung ano nga ba ang dynamic VLAN. Sa dynamic VLAN, ang dynamic port VLAN membership is kino-configure gamit ang isang special server na tinatawag na VLAN Membership Policy Server or VMS. So, dito pwede tayong mag-assign sa mga switch ports dynamically based sa MAC addresses ng device na connected sa port. So, ang benefit is kapag minove mo yung isang port on one switch to another network port on the another switch in the network, ang switch daw ay dynamically na mag-a-assign ng bagong port sa tamang VLAN para sa host.
So next is the voice VLAN. A port is configured to be in voice mode so that it can support an IP phone attached to it. Before you configure a voice VLAN on the port, you need to first configure a VLAN for voice and VLAN for data. In the figure, VLAN 150 is the voice VLAN and VLAN 20 is the data VLAN. It is assumed that the network has been configured to ensure that voice traffic can be transmitted with a priority status over the network. When a phone is first plugged into a switch port that is in voice mode, the switch port sends messages to the phone, providing the phone with the appropriate voice VLAN ID and configuration. The IP phone tags the voice frames with the voice VLAN ID and forwards all voice traffic through the voice VLAN. So, kailangan meron kang VLAN for voice and VLAN for data. Yung voice VLAN kasi is a VLAN dedicated for voice, so kailangan nahiwalay yung voice VLAN sa data VLAN kasi nagkakaroon ng prioritization sa network. Kapag voice VLAN, dapat voice lang kasi kung walang prioritization, pag nag-call or kapag tumawag ka, hindi ma-prioritize yung voice. So, pwedeng hindi kayo magkaintindihan ng kausap mo dahil nagpuputol-putol yung signal. So, parang magiging choppy. Kapag wala ring prioritization, hindi nalalaman ng switch na yung frame na yun is for real-time transmission kasi dapat real-time para hindi putol-putol yung naririnig. That's why kailangan na yung voice and data is separated para ma-assure yung QoS o yung quality of service because of prioritization. So, na-prioritize yung voice kaysa data. Next. So, this is the configuration for voice VLAN. To examine parts of a voice mode configuration, click the voice mode example button in the figure. Configuration command MLS QoS trust COS ensures that voice traffic is identified as priority traffic. Remember that the entire network must be set up to prioritize voice traffic. You cannot just configure the port with this command. The switch port voice VLAN 150 command identifies VLAN 150 as the voice VLAN. You can see this verified in the bottom screen capture. Voice VLAN 150. Next, the switch port access VLAN 20 command configures VLAN 20 as the access mode VLAN. You can see this verified in the bottom screen capture. Access mode VLAN 20. Next, network without VLANs. In normal operation, when a switch receives a broadcast frame on one of its ports, it forwards the frame out all other ports on the switch. In the figure, the entire network is configured in the same subnet 172 17.40.0/24. As a result, when the faculty computer PC1 sends out a broadcast frame, switch S2 sends that broadcast frame out all of its ports. Eventually, the entire network receives it. The network is one broadcast domain. So, sa malalaking organization, sobrang importante ng VLAN kasi without VLAN, you cannot manage the network and the community. So, wala kang full control over everything in your network. Kasi for example, need palakasin yung bandwidth sa isang area dahil need nila gamitin. So, if walang VLAN, hindi mo magagawa yun. Hindi mo matataas yung bandwidth nila kasi pag wala kang VLAN, tapos pag tinaas mo yung bandwidth, lahat tataas. Hindi specific sa area lang na gusto mo. So, ibig sabihin, wala kang control pag walang VLAN. And also, when it comes to security, pag di ka naka-VLAN and may pumasok sa network mo na malware, ganun, lahat yun damay. Pero pag naka-VLAN, dun lang yan sa VLAN mo and di siya makakalabas dun sa VLAN mo hanggat walang transaction na nangyayari sa network. So, madali contain kapag may attacks or malwares na pumasok sa network mo pag naka-VLAN ka. And madaling i-remove yung VLAN sa network, kaya make sure to design properly with VLAN dahil ganun ka-importante sa network ang VLAN.
Communication. Network with VLAN. In the figure, the network was being segmented into two VLAN faculty as VLAN 10 and student as VLAN 20. When the broadcast frame is sent from the faculty computer PC1 to switch 2, the switch forwards the broadcast frame only to those switches port configured to support VLAN 10. In the figure, the ports that make up the connection between switches switch 1 and 2, port F0/1, and between switch 1 and switch 3, port F0/3, have been configured to support all the VLAN in the network. This connection is called a trunk. Later, you will learn more about the trunk. When switch 1 received the broadcast from on support F01/1, switch 1 forward the broadcast frame out the only port configured to support VLAN 10. Port F0/3, when S3 received the broadcast frame on port 0/3, it forwards that broadcast frame out the only port configured to support VLAN 10. Port F0/11, the broadcast frame arrives at the only other computer in the network config on VLAN 10, faculty computer PC4. This is the topology sample of the with VLAN. In the network with the VLAN, like one describes segmentation, separate traffic into different virtual LAN. When a broadcast frame is sent from a computer in one VLAN such as PC1, in VLAN 10, the switch only forwards into port configure for that VLAN, preventing it from reaching device in other VLAN. Trunks like the connection between switches carry traffic for multiple VLAN. In this setup, when a switch receives a broadcast frame on a track port, it forwards its only the two port config for the VLAN of the incoming frame, ensuring efficient traffic handling within the VLAN. Dito sa isang network na may VLAN, ang segmentation ay naghiwalay ng traffic sa iba't ibang virtual LAN. Kapag ang isang frame ay pinadala mula sa isang computer sa isang VLAN tulad ng PC1, Sa VLAN 10, ang switch ay mapapasa lamang nito sa mga port na naka-configure. Para sa VLAN na iyon, na pinipigilan ito na makarating sa mga devices sa ibang VLAN. Ang tulad ng trunk ng connection sa pamamagitan ng switch ay nagpapadala ng trapiko para sa maraming VLAN. Sa ganitong setup, kapag ang isang switch ay tumatanggap ng isang broadcast frame sa isang trunk port, ito ay pinapasa lamang sa mga port na nakakonfigure. Next is controlling broadcast domain with VLAN. Ito yung sample topology niya. Controlling broadcast domain with switches and router, breaking up a big broadcast domain into several smaller ones to reduce broadcast traffic and improve network performance. Breaking up domain into VLAN also allowed for better information, confidentiality within an organization. Breakup broadcast domain can be performed either with VLAN on switch or with router. A router is needed anytime device on different layer. Three network need to communicate regardless either VLAN are used. Breaking a large broadcast domain into smaller ones offers several benefits including reduced broadcast traffic and improved network performance. Additionally, dividing domain into VLAN enhance information confidentiality within an organization. This segmentation can be achieved using VLAN on switches or router. Router are essential device on district layer 3 network and required communication in respective or of VLAN are implemented. Ang paghati ng malaking broadcast ng domain sa mas maliit na mga bahagi ay nag-aalok ng ilang mga benepisyo, kasama dito ang mga mababang traffic ng broadcast at pinagbubuting pagganap ng network. Bukod dito, ang paghati ng mga domain sa mga VLAN ay nagpapabuti sa mga organization o isang information. Ang segmentation na ito ay maaaring magamit ang mga VLAN sa mga switches o router. Ang mahalaga sa mga router kapag ang mga devices sa magkaibang mga layer 3 network ay nangangailangan ng connection o anumang implementation ng VLAN.
Okay. From the previous interval communication, si Fish1 is nag-send ng ARP request from the for the to PC4, which is si PC4 na-receive niya since they're same VLAN at the fast internet 011. Ayun. So ngayon, si PC1 wants to communicate with the PC5. So there's a step by step since si PC5 have a VLAN 20. So titingnan natin kung paano yung step by step paano mai-carry out yung transmission to the router. Okay, step 1, si PC1 gusto may pag-communicate with the PC5 with the VLAN 20. So si PC1 mag-send ng ARP request for the MAC address na naka-default sa router 1. So step 2, si router 1 is makikipag-interact dun sa ARP para yung interface ma-configure dun sa VLAN 10. Tapos all switch forward reply from the PC1 is marireceive. Then once done, CRP nag-reply, mako-contains na yung MAC address na naka-default gateway. So step 3, PC1 then creates internet frame with the MAC address default gateway from sent from switch 1. So si PC1, since na-create na yung internet frame with the MAC address na default gateway, is isi-send niya from the switch 1 and switch 2. So para sa step 4 natin, si router 1 is magsisend ng ARP request from the VLAN 20 na nakadetermine na yung kumbaga yung MAC address na ng default way doon sa PC5. So si switch 1, 2, 3 broadcast yung ARP request from the out of the configure for the VLAN 20. Then after that, si PC5 dun sa VLAN 20 is marireceive niya yung ARP request na galing kay router 1. Kumbaga magre-reply si router 1 para kay PC5 sa VLAN 20. So si step 5 natin is since nakapag-reply na, si PC5 is magsisend ng ARP reply or ARP ano magsisend ng ARP reply kung mag-reply siya sa switch 3. So switch 3 and switch 1, i-forward niya lang naman yung broadcast doon sa router 1 kung saan yung destination MAC address ng interface. Kumbaga saan yung destination ng MAC address ng router 1 galing sa interface 02. Okay. Ang last ano natin is once na nasend ni router 1, lahat-lahat is i-receive na or baga ibibigay niya na kay PC1 pati sa switch 1 and switch 3 to PC5. Kumbaga nagkaroon na sila ng interaction or communication.
Inter-VLAN communication. In the figure, PC1 wants to communicate with another device, PC4. PC1 and PC4 are both in VLAN 10. Communicating with the device in the same VLAN is called intra-VLAN communication. The following describe how this process is accomplished. Bali kapag sinabi nating intra-VLAN communication, isa tong process ng communication na kung saan yung mga hosts or devices na nagko-communicate ay located sa same VLAN. And pwede po silang mag-communicate directly sa isa't isa nang walang paglipat ng data sa ibang VLAN. And effective ito sa isang communication sa loob ng isang network segment. And ito po yung mga following step para ma-accomplish yan within that given example or sa figure. Step 1, PC1 in VLAN 10 sends its ARP request frame broadcast to switch S2. Switches S2 and S1 send the ARP request frame out all ports on VLAN 10. Switch S3 sends the ARP request out port F0/11 to PC4 on VLAN 10. So, bago po makapag-send ng data ang PC1 sa PC4 na nasa parehong VLAN niya or magkasama sila sa VLAN, need munang malaman ang MAC address ng PC4. And para magawa yon, si PC1 magpapadala po siya ng ARP request frame sa S2. Bali yung ARP or Address Resolution Protocol ay ginagamit sa computer network para malaman ang MAC address ng isang device given sa kanyang IP. After nun, si S2 and S1 isi-send nila yung frame sa lahat ng ports sa VLAN 10 and ganun din yung switch 3 kung saan na-connect si PC4. Sorry. Step 2, the switches in the network forward the ARP reply frame unicast to PC1. PC1 receives the reply which contains the MAC address of PC4. After matanggap yung request ni PC4, magre-reply ito na may laman ng MAC address since ayun ang need. And yung reply na yun ay ipo-forward ng mga switches through unicast or ipapadala sa direct at accurate na address mismo ng device na nag-send ng request. Last step is step 3 since meron ng MAC address si PC1 ni PC4 na gagamitin bilang unicast frame kung saan yung frame na yun magagamit para sa unicast communication since meron ng MAC address ni PC4, si PC1, and gagamitin na yun bilang destination address. And ayun po yung para sa intra-VLAN communication.
Controlling broadcast domains with VLANs and layer 3 forwarding. In the last chapter, we learned about some of the differences between layer 2 and layer 3 switches. The figure shows the Catalyst 3750G 24PS switch, one of the many Cisco switches that support layer 3 routing. The icon that represents a layer 3 switch is shown. A discussion of layer 3 switching is beyond the scope of this course, but a brief description of the switch virtual interface or SVI technology that allows a layer 3 switch to route transmission between VLANs is helpful. So SVI. SVI is a logical interface configured for a specific VLAN. So you need to configure an SVI for a VLAN if you want to route between VLANs or to provide IP host connectivity to the switch. In default, an SVI is created for the default VLAN or VLAN 1 to permit remote switch administration, as you can see at the picture. Layer 3 forwarding. A layer 3 switch has the ability to route transmission between VLANs. The procedure is the same as described for the inter-VLAN communication using a separate router, except that the SVIs acts as the router interfaces for routing the data between VLANs. The animation describes this process. The PC1 wants to communicate with PC5. The following steps outline the communication through layer 3 switch. So step 1, PC1 sends an ARP request broadcast on VLAN 10. The switch 2 forwards the ARP request out of all ports configured for VLAN 10. The step 2 switch 1 forwards the ARP request out all ports configured for VLAN 10, including the SVIs for VLAN 10. So the switch 3 forwards the ARP request out of the ports configured for VLAN 10. So the step 3 for VLAN 10 in the switch 1 knows the location of VLAN 20. The SVI for VLAN 10 in switch 1 sends an ARP reply back to the PC1 with this information. So in step 4, the PC1 sends the data it destined for the PC5 as a unicast frame through switch 2 to the SVI for VLAN 10 in switch 1. Next is the VLAN 20 sends a ARP request broadcast out of all switch ports that configured for VLAN 20. So the switch 3 sends also an ARP request broadcast that is configured for also VLAN 20. Next step is PC5 on VLAN 20 sends an ARP reply. The switch 3 sends an ARP reply to the switch 1, and the switch 1 forwards the ARP reply to the SVI for VLAN 20. As the result, the SVI for VLAN 20 forwards the data and sent from the PC1 in a unicast frame to PC5 using the destination address at it is learned from the ARP reply from step 6.